ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् यो अन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादि प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् समचरणसरोजम् सान्द्रनीलाम्बुदाभम् जघननिहितपाणिम् मण्डनम् मण्डनानाम् तरुणतुलसीमाला गन्धरम् गञ्जनेत्रम् सदयधवलहासम् विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. Greetings on this auspicious day of Ganesh Chaturthi. May the Jnanadayaka, the Buddhidayaka, the Mangalamurti, the Vignaharta remove all the obstacles from our path, make things Mangalamaya for us, so that our buddhi becomes Tikshna, shining, where the jnana can dawn on us. With this prayer, let's start our today's session. We are in chapter 15. We are going to start with verse number 28. It's soon after OV 150. मद्भक्त्या शुद्धसत्त्वस्य योगिनो धारणा विदः तस्य त्रैकालिकी बुद्धिः जन्म मृत्युपबृंहिता. Over to you, Shri Harichi.
Meaning of the verse: direct knowledge of the past, present, and the future, and also of birth and death, and direct understanding of others' mind comes to that yogi whose mind is purified through devotion to me as the knower of three times: the past, present, and the future. 151. I am the controller of the creation, the maintenance, and the dissolution of the whole world. And if the yogi meditates on this quality of mind, his mind becomes very pure. 152. And in that mind, the knowledge of the past, present, and the future, as well as the creation, the life, and death of the entire world and all beings arises.
अज्ञादिभिर्न हन्येत मुनेर्योगमयं वपुः मद्योगश्रान्तचित्तस्य यादसामुदकं यथा.
Meaning of the verse: the yogi, by concentration on my personality, which is indestructible, becomes also undamageable by fire or other elements, just as a fish in water cannot be hurt by the water itself. 153. By great efforts, it is possible to concentrate the mind on me, and as a result of that unity, the body also becomes obedient to the will of the Atman, and it becomes impervious to all the opposites in nature, such as hot and cold. 154. It is not affected by cold season or summer or soft and hard, and even fire cannot burn it. 155. Just as aquatic animals live happily in water, he also remains happy surrounded by fire. This is a siddhi called freedom from opposites. 156. In the wake of this siddhi, another power called pratishtambha comes into being, which has the quality of freeing the person from all affections and troubles. Please listen to its sign. 157. The man is never affected by the outer wind and he also keeps under control the internal vital factors such as pranas. 158. He can sleep on burning coals as if he is comfortably reclining on a bed of flowers with all stems removed. 159. Even in the cold water of winter, if he is merged, he does not try to come out because he enjoys the water as the fish and happily remains in it. 160. In the scorching heat of summer sun, he does not feel harassed, and as if a lotus flower blooms in sun rays, he becomes fresher in it. 161. Thus, he does not get affected by the heat of sun rays, and similarly, no weapon can hurt him. 162. If one hits the sky with a sharp sword, the sky cannot be hurt. Similarly, the yogi having this siddhi is not hurt by any weapon. 163. If he is given a poison, he does not die. But as certain worms thrive in dirty water, he lives on even if he takes poison. Poison. 164. Just as the shadow of a mountain which is below it is not pricking it, so this Siddha happily remains unaffected by the fire, the sun, the poison, the water, or wind. 165. O Uddhava, please mind well that though it is very interesting to listen to the description of these powers, they are great impediments in the way of reaching me. 166. Siddhis Siddhis do not belong to the spiritual path because I am the purest of the pure, and human desire to have powers is detrimental to the smooth progress on that path. 167. I have told you earlier about the power of reading others' mind by implication. Please listen to its nature also. 168. I have told you that when a man concentrates on me as the controller, 169, of everything in the world, he also gets my power to know everything, including the movement of all minds. 170. When he is witnessing the dream state of the jiva, he knows immediately whatever thought arises in the mind of that jiva. 171. He can know the most secret thoughts of that person. Such is the nature of that siddhi.
मद्विभूतिरभिध्यायन् श्रीवत्सास्त्रविभूषिताः त्वचातपत्रव्यजनैः स भवेदपराजितः.
Meaning of the verse: when he meditates on my physical body, which is decorated with Srivatsa and various weapons, as also with fans, my flag and umbrella, etc., he becomes undefeatable. 172. If a man wants to be unconquerable, he should meditate on my image, which is famous to give victory by uttering my name and meditating on it, even to gods. 173. The image should be having four arms, wielding conch, dis- discus, the mace, and the lotus, having an umbrella, the fans of feathers, totem in front of it, and the picture of eagle on the flag. 174. There should be a best fan being moved by a bejeweled handle. There should be noisy anklets around the ankles, and God should be visualized as surrendering themselves at the feet of the image. 175. The man who always meditates on my image of this description with all the attentions without mistake will not be defeated anywhere and always be successful and victorious in his life. 176. It is to be noted that by meditation on me, he becomes victorious alone without anybody's help. This is the siddhi attained by loyalty in meditation. 177. He who holds me as Ajita in his heart is thus unconquerable everywhere. Saying all this, the Lord ended his description about all occult powers.
उपासकस्य मामेवं योगधारणया मुनेः सिद्धयः पूर्वकथिता उपतिष्ठन्त्यशेषता सिद्धयः पूर्वकथिताः उपतिष्ठन्त्यशेषतः.
Meaning of the verse: the aforesaid siddhis, without any exception, wait upon the sage who worships me through yogic concentration, as detailed in the description given so far. 178. He who will meditate upon me, having the various powers and qualities in me, will get all the occult powers accordingly. 179. Or, O Uddhava, he may concentrate on any of my innumerable images usually held dear in the heart, he will definitely attain various powers. 180. But without going through all the various types of meditation, the seeker may have totally all my attained all my occult powers by only the method of meditation, of which I am going to tell you the details just now.
जितेन्द्रियस्य दान्तस्य जितश्वासात्मनो मुनेः मद्धारणान् धारयतः का सा सिद्धिः सुदुर्लभा.
Meaning of the verse, no siddhi is impossible to be obtained for the sage who has conquered his senses, tamed his mind, and controlled his breath and body, and practices concentration on me. 181. There are five organs of actions and senses. They are to be controlled by physical effort and mental effort, and breath control is also to be successfully achieved. The man must be totally desireless. 182. He should be very alert using the power of discrimination, and by discarding everything temporary and unimportant, he should meditate continuously and conquer his mind by his own mind only. 183. With all this preparation of purity of mind, the person should hold me in his heart with undivided devotion and love. Then all these powers are simply his maidservants. 184. What wants are there for a man who leaves aside everything and with complete one pointedness loves me? And why should any siddhi not be available to him? 185. Eknath says, the Lord Sri Krishna here warns the seeker that though siddhis are available as a rule, he should not utilize them.
अन्तरायान् वदन्त्येता युञ्जतो योगमुत्तमम् मया सम्पद्यमानस्य कालक्षेपणहेतवः.
Meaning of the verse, when a man practices yoga, these occult powers are called impediments in the attainment of me, simply wasting the time of the devotee. 186. If my devotee is having no selfish purpose, he definitely becomes one with me. But if he turns towards enjoying the occult powers, it is sure that he is not able to reach me. 187. Only the man who is interested in the worldly pleasures enjoyable through physical body gets ensnared by the siddhis, but he who is really interested in me never bothers about the entanglement with occult powers. 188. Suppose a man sets out to attain public applause. It is possible that he will take all the trouble to gain these occult powers. But a man who really loves me unselfishly will never turn his attention to these occult powers. 189. A man going to Varanasi on a pilgrimage happens to stay in his journey at the house of a prostitute and being attracted to her, he spends his money for her. 190. He decides never to leave her and resides with her for many days. 191. So long as he has money, that prostitute entertains him, and when all his money is spent and he becomes penniless, she turns him out of her house. 192. If he does not leave her house physically and continues to live there, becoming a slave to his desire, that prostitute herself leaves that house and leaves him alone and penniless. This is also the case of a greater occult powers. 193. In this case, the original intention of the man to complete the pilgrimage to Varanasi and by observing all the necessary rites to release his forefathers from the hell, etc., has been abandoned, and he was relieved of all his belongings by the prostitute because he was mad for her. 194. Siddhis or occult powers are like this. They are impediments, and by diverting my devotee away from the meditation and the knowledge and the state of complete freedom from desire, they destroy him completely. 195. The work of deception by occult powers is conspicuous exactly when the seeker is about to realize unity with me. These powers present a sweet enticement to the seeker of varieties of pleasures, and if the seeker turns his attention to them, it is imperative that this unity is delayed. 196. 196. O Uddhava, in me there is no duality, and so Whatever ideas of pleasure are presented by the seeker are nothing but an illusion caused by Maya, my inscrutable power. 197. I have explained to you all the details about all the occult powers with the intention that you must know how these powers spell danger and destruction. 198. Again, I will say that if the seeker falls into the net of obvious gain of pleasures inherent in these powers while he is concentrating on me, it is a fact that these powers destroy the seeker.
You're on mute, Varshaji.
You're on mute, Varshaji.
Sorry. जन्मौषधितपो मन्त्रैः यावतीरिह सिद्धयः योगेनाप्नोति ताः सर्वाः नान्यैर्योगगतिं व्रजेत्.
Meaning of the verse, one attains here through concentration all those occult powers that follow from birth or drugs or austerity and the repetition of mantras. One cannot, however, obtain the supreme reward of residing in Vaikuntha. 199. By birth or by taking particular drugs or by repetition of certain peculiar mantras and by hard penance, occult powers can be possessed, or they are secondary happenings on the pathway of yoga practice through proper breath control. 200. Many persons are having some powers as a gift by God. Some get these by taking certain potions derived from herbs. Some undergo prolonged and hard penance to possess them, while some are able to use occult powers by successful repetition of mantras. 201. In nature, certain creatures have certain powers, such as serpents live on air for many days without food. The fish can live in water, and the birds can fly in the sky. These are the siddhis only, which are naturally available to them. 202. It is said that swan can separate milk from water. We hear the sweet notes of kokil bird, which is natural for it, and it is also the gifted power of Chakora that enjoys the rays of the moon and becomes satisfied. 203. 203. Thus, I have told you the Siddhi is available to a certain creatures naturally from their birth. Now, I'll tell you about the powers which are attained by taking certain medicines. 204. Eknath says, if a man worships the god Ganesh at the roots of white mandar tree and observes Angaraki Chaturthi, the fourth day of the dark phase of the Shaka month, which falls on Tuesday, is called by this name, Angaraki Chaturthi. He gets knowledge of all the sciences and become rich. 205. Ajana tree has got a peculiar quality. The fruits of this tree are like the mouth of a dog. If a man can get milky juice of this tree to drink, he defeats the death and old age. 206. If regularly a man takes juice of neem tree, he does not suffer from any disease and poison. There is a plant by name Pataka Garudi. If the bud of this plant is eaten, the body becomes impervious to any ailment. 207. Another tree is by name Putika, the root of which gives a man power and chance to enjoy pleasures with divine apsaras. 208. There are so many such herbs and medicines, and it is no doubt difficult to obtain benefits from them and the resultant powers. O Uddhava, the wise one, now I'll tell you the powers gained by various penances. Please listen. 209. There are certain types of intentional hardships undergone by prospective seekers who are observing fast for 3 days, observing fast alternate day, sitting in the heavy rainfall, standing in cold water continuously for certain period, or to take in only smoke of certain herbs, etc. Whatever aim is intended to be achieved, men observe certain vows related to that penance. 210. Now, listen to the siddhi gained by mantras. If a man sits one dead body continuously for one night and repeats a mantra and worships, the deity presiding over the dead body becomes pleased and gives certain powers to the man. 211. By that, he is able to know the happenings in the past, in the present, as well as in the future. If the mantra of the sun is repeated according to a certain method, man becomes clairvoyant. 212. The type of the occult power depends on the type of the mantra and the desire of the seeker, but also these depend on the yogic concentration. 213. When the man sits firmly in the yogic posture and unifies the prana and apana and concentrates his mind, he can attain all such powers. 214. Thus, I have told you that through unification of prana and apana and concentration of mind, occult powers becomes manifest. 215. However, if the man holds me alone in his heart with love, these powers come to him without breath control or yogic methods. 216. All the four types of liberations are made servants of that yogi if he only meditates on me. 217. If one tries to tackle each and every occult power, even the liberations of the level of Samipata, Salukta, etc., cannot be achieved. Then why talk about Sayujyata? 218. Even my real pure hearted devotees set aside freedom and are satisfied in my devotion only, and they are respected by me. 219. I am the supreme God controlling all the occult powers, but I begin to worship these devotees, as a result of which all the occult powers run away from him. 220. The Lord Sri Krishna further goes on to tell Uddhava that he keeps the company of his devotees out of love for them, and naturally, all his powers are also with him.
सर्वासामपि सिद्धीनां हेतुः पतिरहं प्रभुः अहं योगस्य साङ्ख्यस्य धर्मस्य ब्रह्मवादिनाम्.
Meaning of the verse, I am the presiding God as the aim of all the occult powers and the Lord of the Yoga, the Sankhya, and the experts in the knowledge of Brahman. 221. The Lord said, I am the beginning of all occult powers. I am their glory and their end. Thus, I am their owner. 222. I am the Lord of unity of the Jiva and the Atman. And I am also the Lord of that knowledge in which the status of separate Jiva is proved unreal. 223. It is also well known that I am the guiding principles of the sages who teach self-wisdom, and the men of knowledge understands the problems only because of my blessings. 224. I am the God of Vedas, which give knowledge through Upanishads, and without my will, not a single word of Vedas can be uttered. 225. Please remember that I am the ruler of Dharma, which is an instrument for self-knowledge, and I am the omnipresent Atman of the nature of the knowledge, who am inside and outside of every object. 226. I am Sarvatman, occupying everything, O Uddhava. I am totally and completely existing everywhere all the time. Please listen how this is true.
अहमात्मान्तरो बाह्यः अनावृतः सर्वदेहिनां यथा भूतानि भूतेषु बहिरन्तः स्वयं तथा.
Meaning of the verse, I am the self of all embodied souls, being their inner controller as well as covering them from without, though. I am myself not covered, just as elements both permeate and enclose the bodies of living beings. 227. I reside in the jivas and the jivas reside in me. My dear, I am immeasurable and quite beyond the gunas and maya. 228. Just as a pot is in the space, and the space is both inside and outside of that pot, similarly, I am fully occupying the inner and outer aspect of everything. 229. Just as the five elements are occupying an inner and outer aspect of every physical objects, so I am occupying the whole world inside and outside. 230. Just as water is in the wave and sweetness is in the jaggery, so I completely exist alone in all the billions of universes. 231. When time is ripe for being united with me, the various occult powers entice the seeker in pleasures and prosperity and eventually destroy him. 232. For example, a man who is in the good books of the king is having opportunities to having these illegal gratification, but generally his end is also in the same process. Similarly, these powers, though attractive, are dangerous for the seeker. 233. The intention behind all my arguments in this subject is to show that the siddhis are completely destructive on the path of attainment of unity with me. 234. When there is immediate possibility of the seeker being united with me through one-pointed devotion, these siddhis appear, attract the seeker to sensual pleasures, and denude him. denude him. 235. These siddhis offer attractive pleasures only to the fools who do not know the bliss inherent in the Atman due to their acute desires. 236. The glory of these siddhis is similar to the advances of a prostitute. Eknath says, the Lord had described all this to convince the seeker that he must discard everything related to occult powers. 237. The Lord said, only those who are happy in me find these occult powers as useless as the dry blade of grass. They are not confronted by death, birth and death, and their heart is full of joy in meditation. 238. Then who will care for these petty powers? The devotees of Hari know this very well. 239. When they surrender their ego to the devotion of the Lord Hari and their pride is destroyed in the devotional process, not even the idea of enjoying anything in the world touches their mind. 240. Happiness, freedom, riches, and powers are all residents near the feet of Sadguru. Only those who are dull-witted make efforts for the extra occult powers. 241. Well, please remember well that not to expect anything is as well as gaining all the powers, because in the courtyard of a man who has no exception at all, the occult powers are serving as laborers. 242. The strange thing is that those powers never turn a glance towards those who are desiring them, and the touch by their head. The strange thing is that those powers never turn a glance towards those who are desiring them, and the touch by their head, the dust of the feet of that man who has no desires at all. 243. Non-expectation is greater than mere knowledge of asceticism and devotion. Once a man becomes devoid of any expectation, the highest liberation of Sayujyata serves the feet of that person. 244. All occult powers are with the non-expectation. All rituals are implied in non-expectations, and prosperity is saluting the non-expectations day and night. 245. When there is lack of expectation, God looks after the devotee, and when there is no expectation, there is only pure goodness. And oh, please know how God Himself is present personally near the non-expectation. 246. Vedanta is friend of non-expectation. Yoga embraces it, and it is itself the enjoyment of self-bliss. Not only this, the man who does not expect meets the Lord Sri Krishna. 247. Eknath surrendered himself to Janardana, which resulted in the development of the quality of non-expectation in his nature, and therefore he is always full of ecstasy. 248. It is only the benediction of the feet of Sadguru that I gained self-knowledge, which is full of joy, because at the feet of the Master there is the playful divine joy and the seed of happiness. 249. If the man is devoted at the feet of his Guru, all four types of liberations are gained by him, and therefore desirelessness itself serves a man with all the depth of Atmic power. 250. Eknath surrenders himself to Guru Janardana, and by his grace, the 15th chapter of the 11th skandha of Srimad Bhagavata has been completed. Here ends the Marathi commentary by Saint Eknath on the 15th chapter of the 11th skandha of Bhagavata Mahapurana, dedicated to Sri Lord Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Beautiful reading, Sundarji. You can say your thoughts, and what an auspicious day to even accomplish this reading and complete the chapter.
When I was reading, I was just going through the chapter 4 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, and I kind of saw that it is exactly the same as what I had read a few minutes ago. The verses are repetitive of the nature. It was almost the same. So it establishes how great is Bhagavan to us, to the devotees who, without any desire, surrender to him. So I have noted few points to say 165. So yes, in OV 165 is where he says, "Oh Uddhava, please mind that though it is very interesting to listen to the description of these occult powers, they are great impediments in the way of reach. So it is the major hurdles or bottlenecks for someone to reach the God. So from 165 on, yesterday he spoke about all these occult powers. Now in today, Bhagavan talks about what are these occult powers, how it is destroying or how it is uh, as a blockage to seek him, going away from Bhagavan. So he says different ways of achieving that occult powers. Some do in a different ways, uh, but once this occult powers comes, it will take over to that persons who desire on it, and so it will destroy them. Several examples have been spoken about how a prostitute takes away all the wealth and then leaves. Um, so many, there were repetition of the same thing being told, that the problems or drawbacks of occult powers. So again in verse 177, he says, "He who holds me as Ajita in his heart is unconquerable everywhere." So even Bhagavan starts at the verse 177, says that these occult powers cannot conquer him. It is unconquerable, right? So and then Bhagavan says these occult powers are available very easily to one who meditates upon me uh, uh, completely. All the occult powers are attained. But one should remember that this should not be getting deluded or attracted towards these occult powers. So it was very clearly explained through different verses, and I have noted several of these verses, but Ovis, but I felt that it was like the gist of this is to see that Lord Hari is so near and dear to the devotees, and uh, he actually gives love. So it is with complete love and dedication to the Lord that one can become desirelessness. So much is spoken about what is desire. If the desirelessness is not there, what these occult powers can do. So many verses he has very clearly explained that. So one who is looking for uh, use these siddhis for their own pleasures, uh, definitely not away from him and cannot reach him. So many Ayurvedic related things like mantras, japas, to attain these occult powers. Many herbs and trees can provide different kind of powers to the individual. But if a person is desireless for anything, about he's not desiring about his body, is not having any desires to, so everything is about only love towards God and surrender to the God. So for him, these siddhis are not giving happiness. So at the feet of Guru, Sadguru, lies the happiness. So Eknath talks about at the end, he concludes by saying, one who surrenders to Guru Janardana, right? He gets all types of liberations and he becomes complete desirelessness.
Beautiful.
That is
Beautiful
the
summary. Well, some verses, some movies, in like 231 and all, when time is ripe for being united with him, the various occult powers entice the seeker in pleasures and prosperity and eventually destroy. Right? So these powers, though attractive, are dangerous for the seeker in 232. In 233, destructive on the path of attainment of unity with me, the powers are. Each verse, 241, remember well, not to expect anything is as well as gaining of the powers, because in the courtyard of a man who has no expectation at all, the occult powers are serving as laborers. Those who want, it will not come. So it's strange that those who want never turn a glance towards those who are desiring them. And they touch by their head the dust of the feet of that man who has no desires at all, at 242. Beautiful. 243 also. Non-expectation is greater than mere knowledge of asceticism and devotion. Once a man becomes devoid of any expectation, the highest liberation of Sayujata serves the feet of that person. So this was the verse I just loved 243 and I marked it, underlined it. That is the thing. Beautiful.
What is that word Ajita means, Varshaji?
So Ajita means one who is not form. So Lord's form. So all the occult powers are on what quality or attribute of the Lord you are meditating on. So if you are meditating on Lord's Ajita power, means Ajita, one who is not able to, the Lord is Ajita means Lord is not conquerable by anybody. So if you are meditating on Lord's Ajita quality, you will become Ajita. Jita to win. Ajita, one who cannot be won over. So a person who is meditating on the attribute of Lord's unconquerable quality will become unconquerable. So throughout the occult powers, we have seen that. Of what Lord's quality you are meditating on that, you are becoming that.
So that's why in verse 30, when God asked to meditate on his Shankha Chakra with Kaustubha jewel, everything.
Yes. So that is to keep the mind steady on the Lord. So at the junior level, for us, Lord is like one awe kind of a thing. When we are getting deeper, we are understanding the attributes of the Lord. When we are taking that attribute, because now we are a little deeper, we become that attribute. So Lord is all powerful. So if we are becoming all powerful, thinking of that attribute, we should not get stuck into that being of all powerfulness. We should know our place that we are not that just because I have meditated on that all powerful I have become. But it doesn't happen like that, Lord is saying. And you will start becoming like a Lord and start, so that it will hit the ego. So this is what all the warnings are coming. That one is free to meditate on whichever attribute of the Lord. And when that meditation, meditator, and the object of that meditation, they become one, you become one. So we have to consciously be aware that if anything is changing positive in our, by doing the meditation, we should not get stuck on that positive thing. That also needs to get offered to the Lord. This is what it. So this Ajita quality, unconquerable quality, you meditate, you will become unconquerable.
Well explained, Varsha.
Yeah. Thank
Well
you so
explained.
much.
Yeah, this is,
I
yeah.
mean, it should be like a reminder also.
Beautiful, no, this chapter was, my God. Okay, so tomorrow we will start, but tomorrow I might be on my way from the airport. I will start anyways, and you would not need my help till about verse 75. So if we finish 20 minutes in that, then we stop over there. The first verse comes only after verse 77. So on the way also I will start off this and then some of you chant. But if the time comes that if we need to chant and we have time, then somebody just read 1 and 2 verse and practice and come. We might do. So normally we finish at 75, 80 verses, but in case like that, then just see that verse and come for tomorrow. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Over to you, Nikhila ji, for that. Okay, Shri Hari ji is doing excellent. Please go ahead.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
Thank you, Shri Hari ji, for lovely reading. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Let's
Thank
meet
you.
tomorrow.
Who will be reading, Varshaji? Can I?
Whoever who wants to read.
Shall I read?
Okay. Then who will do the shloka and come? Nikhilaji, you would see the two shlokas?
Yes.
Okay, we may not need, but still,
Yeah.
just as a
Yeah.
backup. Read and see, and if you have doubt, then send me a WhatsApp message.
Sure.
If you have a doubt into.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Hari
you.
Om.
Hari
Hari
Om.
Om. Hari Om.
Namaste.
Thank you.